Yo, what's going on? Welcome back to Art Adventures. I'm extremely excited to get back to action. I'm gonna go ahead and get started on this drawing tutorial. It has been far too long. I think it's been over 5 months since I have been able to make a video. And so with that being said, let's get started. I drew these two last night, which is day one, up here, which is Crystal. So I went ahead and did a Loki Among Us character, and then I did day two as a rough sketch as well, so I could kind of catch up and be on time with the actual video. So it is technically day two as far as Inktober goes, but I'm gonna go ahead and get started on these. I'm gonna do more of a tutorial style videos as far as these Among Us characters go. I know last year I recorded a little bit differently. It was more of a, I did the sketches and then I went ahead and just inked it for you guys. I didn't have the proper equipment to do the best videos as I could. So we're gonna go ahead and change it up a little bit and actually get to teaching you guys how I do these characters as much as possible. So first things first, big rectangle shape. It's got a little bit of a curve over here on this side, a slight curve here. And then you put a pretty much almost like a TV screen type of oval shaped rectangle on the face mask. It comes out a little bit and then I can go ahead and erase that later. But this is the basic way that I start. This side of the head is a little bit more curved than this side. It's a little bit harder of a edge than this side. I go about halfway. Boom, pop that over, and this is gonna start the little backpack that the Among Us characters have. Boom, and then go down here and make short little stubby legs like our Among Us characters have. Boom, and then this little angle, almost looks like a Y or a tree type of shape. Down, connect that leg. Now you're gonna have this leg just slightly higher than this one. And this is just a rough sketch. We'll go ahead and do some detail on it later. Now, they're at almost a 3/4 of a turn. So I'm gonna go ahead and put a dot there, and that's gonna give me my reference point of where his helmet, I'm doing Loki, so where his helmet is actually going to come together. Boom. I don't wanna cover the entire face mask with his actual helmet, but we have to get some of it covered so that we can make it look a little bit more realistic. So got like this little trapezoid type shape here. You have an M shape coming around the face mask, and that has given me the little guideline of how to properly cover his face, just enough to make it seem a little bit more realistic, but give me enough face to see that it is an Among Us character and you're not covering up that face mask, that helmet. So once you have these two little rectangle trapezoid type shapes and that M, then you can go ahead and do the actual shape of the helmet, and it's gonna go over the head. Okay, so the head's kind of more of a guideline. It's gonna go over the head and it's gonna come around and around that M, and that is going to connect down there to that little rectangle shape. Now you can go ahead and start doing your helmet details, which are these two triangle shapes that just kind of come out of his helmet, his headgear. So I do this one more like a V, and I did this one kind of, since it's at an angle, actually probably should be down here a little bit. So go ahead and erase that, push it over, and put it in the proper kind of spot. Again, these are rough sketches, so it's not going to be perfect right off jump. There's gonna be a lot of lines that are going to kind of overlap, and I'm doing it roughly so I can then do the detail and then ink it after we finish the drawing part of it. Okay, so these little kind of horns that come up out of his helmet are gonna have like this hook, almost like a C shape, or almost like a moon, like an exaggerated moon, that is going to give you the proper curves and so on and so forth. He has this little M shape like U here that gives you that little spike in his detail of his helmet, and then you have the little detail that kind of comes down here. Boom, that's done. Now we can start working on the actual body. He's got like this little vest, jacket, coat type of look to him. So basically, if you just want to start off by making it as basic as possible, you kind of give yourself a little bit of a shape here, boom, a little bit of a shape there, okay? And now you can start working the details. Come down a little bit, do like this little V shape here to kind of give it a little bit of a detail. Same thing on the other side. And then the bottom is gonna be a different color down here, so on and so forth. So, and I just give him a little bit more detail as far as different colors go for the coat that he has on. This is gonna be a different color than this. This is gonna be a different color than those. So there are so many different styles that I've seen online, and so one of them has like this little padding type of accessory on his pants. So I'll go ahead and do that on both sides. And then we got to make sure that you have the area for the boots, which are going to be a different color than the pants. And with that being said, we got to do the belt line. And it's always difficult for me because the way that these are drawn, it's kind of not proportionate. So you have this at a different angle almost. It's kind of the same angle, just a different like area. It's like the body kind of curves this way, even though it doesn't. It's kind of standing straight up. So it's kind of hard to find out where the middle of the bottom part of the torso is, where the waist would be, and then the middle of the helmet or the face mask would be way up here. So it's kind of like a weird angle. So sometimes it looks a little wonky, but it is what it is. It is fine to draw it how you want. So now there you go. That's going to be his belt line. He does have some skin showing, and then he has the accessories, and that's what these lines are going to be for. So boom, there's that. He does have long hair, so I'm just going to do some basic triangle points for his hair to kind of stick out a little bit. Not much. Boom. And then you have the cape, and the cape, like the backside of the coat, so on and so forth, depending on which kind of character development you're going to be doing. So there's that. Now that's a tangent, so I'm gonna go ahead and change that. I don't want those lines to line up exactly the same. So I'm gonna change that a little bit. Boom, there you go. And then we have to draw his staff. Now obviously these Among Us characters, they don't have arms, so it's kind of hard to draw something that one of these guys is gonna hold when doesn't necessarily have arms. So again, this is day 1 of Inktober 2021, excuse me. And the word is crystal. And so obviously we haven't drawn a crystal yet, But I do remember when I did my video on the Avengers baby reveal name for some friends of mine, I also have a YouTube channel. I went ahead and I drew Loki, and since his staff has that little crystal on the inside, that's kind of gonna be why I was able to draw Loki instead of just crystals. I always try to see how I can bend the rules a little bit, and obviously Loki has a crystal here, so there you go. That's how I was able to kind of work that one out and get you guys a Among Us character, Loki, instead of just going with the typical drawing a clump of crystals. So there you go. There you have the basic gist of it, the basic shape of everything. I'm gonna go ahead and get a little bit more detail in here on this helmet. I'm gonna erase some lines that are not really wanted, and then we'll go ahead and ink this bad boy. All right, so I got my Pentel Pocket brush pen. I'm gonna go ahead and get that inked out so that I can go ahead and finish coloring it with my Ohuhu alcohol markers. But before then, I'm gonna go ahead and give myself my background. Very generic, basic shape, but it's gonna give it some sort of depth with the color. So whenever you guys are using something and it's just a floating image, it may or may not look a little stale, a little dry, and it might not look as clean as you want it to look. It's not going to have that pop. So we want to give it a separation from the white background. White is going to kill your drawings, so you want to get rid of that as much as possible. But it doesn't have to be perfect. So, all right, let's go ahead and get the bad boy inked, and yeah, we'll be on our way. All right, well, there you have it. There is your inked up Loki Among Us character. I'm gonna go ahead and get this colored with the Ohuhu alcohol markers. See you guys in a second. All right, guys, so there you go. There's your Loki Among Us character for day one Inktober, which is crystal. And I went ahead and did the Loki because Loki has that little crystal inside of his staff. This was fun. I am so excited to get back to action on these Inktober drawings, back to making videos, editing, posting as much as I possibly can. So guys, I thank you for watching. Go ahead and leave a thumbs up. Hit the post notes if you guys want to go ahead and subscribe so you guys can see all the videos that I'm posting from here on forward. Guys, I thank you. I love you. I'm so glad to be back. I'll see you guys soon. Peace. I'm so stoked that I'm back. Peace.